So I have started the painting process of the frame, front frame, rear subframe, and the seat. And I've already got the first coat on, silver. And all this stuff I bought online through a couple of different places. This acrylic urethane. The last bike I went with was a lacquer, and it didn't hold up. It's not holding up too good. It's chipping everywhere. So I'm going with a urethane this time, and I know this stuff is pretty tough. So I got the silver base coat in there. I got the Glamour clear coat, and this is a urethane as well. And then I have the candy green, this stuff here, and I ordered that from Eastwood. But then I also got the I can't remember what it's called. It's called the well, basically it's a thicker version of the regular paint, and you basically add it in to make it a little bit stronger instead of it being so opaque. This comes with the urethane as well, activator as well, using a urethane base coat stabilizer. And then I'm going to put in the paint this green flake. It's called Emerald Green Halo. And then in the clear coat, to kind of match, if you look at the anodized portion, it kind of looks almost golden color in the sunlight. So I'm going to put some of this in the clear coat. And this is a light green pearl. So that'll kind of make it stand out a little more. Hopefully it'll come out okay and not too light. So I'm done with the silver coat, so now I'm on to the color coat or top coat, and we'll see how this one turns out. Alright, so here's the final piece with the clear coat. Here it is in the sunlight. You can kind of see the metal flake. It does have that light green coating on it, the pearl as well. So the frame is done. The only thing I didn't do was the battery box yet, because I gotta wait for my brace to come in so I can cut the hole in it. But overall it came out pretty nice, just letting it dry before I take it down. And all in all, it took about maybe an hour to do, I guess. Nice color on it. So I got a little impatient and started putting it together right away. I got the frame on, titanium bolts for the frame, the machined end caps. I got the Password JDM mount and the shock mount. Also have the tires and everything mounted, as you know, with the 6-speed lug nuts. And I finally finished clear coating that cover. That came out nice. Got the pegs on as well, and I got to get some more bolts to put on the seat frame because these ones are a little too short. I got the anodized green Password JDM plug, so just need to get some more bolts. So started on assembly and actually started some of the wiring. I ran it through the frame over here, through that hole that I made. and it's going to be running in the side of the frame with these hold downs like that. I made this bracket to hold the fuel pump and the coil, and also got the frame painted and installed, and the engine is mounted. The only thing I need is the rear shock. And I made a custom piece here, a kind of like an oil catch can, breather can, whatever you want to call it. Just drilled a hole and tapped it and put an insert with the filter, and then down here put another insert with the hose that goes to the front of the valve cover. Also, the back wheel setup is done except for the bolts that are supposed to be coming in sometime. I don't know when. And I made this hub. I don't know if you want to call it a hubcap or just a cover, that got a piece of 1-inch thick aluminum that was 6 inches wide, and put it on my mini lathe, figured out how to mount it on that thing, and turned it. It took a while, but I polished it up, mounted it, came out really nice. It's about 1/8 of an inch thick on the inside, so it doesn't really do anything with the spacing of the tire. Tire space pretty good. Waiting on some parts to come in so I can put the forks, and that means I'm waiting for the bearings, the head bearings, and next month gonna order the whole front end, which includes the shocks, the brakes, or the brake rotor, axle, and of course gonna order the NCY quick throttle to go with the transformer handlebars, and started making the form for the seat that I'm gonna make, which is over here. I glued it all together. I got a bunch of 2x10s, I believe, like this. What I got to do is sand the form. You can kind of see where it's a little uneven on some spots, so I'm just gonna grind them all flat and make them all uniform. And basically, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna drop it just like that. Yeah. Ugh, God, it's pretty heavy. Okay, so this too, I gotta sand all these little curves and make it all uniform, so this part sits on top of this. And what will happen is I'm gonna get some really thin plywood that bends really easy, and put some glue in between each layer, put 4 layers in between here, and sandwich it, and then put some clamps on it, and this will be the final form when it's done. And then I'll just sand the edge and round off the edges and stuff like that. And then I'm thinking of doing a green stain on it, and then give it a couple of clear coats, and then gonna get some black bride gradient material and just do a pad for it, and that'll be the seat. But that's a custom thing that nobody has, and I figure I'd try to make one. We'll see how it goes. I don't know what else I've done to this thing. I think that's about it. I mean, I had to machine a couple of screws here and then heat them up to blue them. This both made out of stainless steel. I think I ran my lathe through too much because all of a sudden it started burning out fuses. and I'm not sure what's wrong with it, so I took it apart, and I'm gonna order some more fuses for it, and I changed the brushes out on the motor, and gotta see what's wrong with it because I use this a lot. Probably end up having to buy another one, but actually a bigger one, since I use it so much. But that's where I am now on it. It's coming together, and hopefully by May. So I've started the wire tuck on my ruckus here, and for those of you that have never done one like me, I kind of go through some of the steps that I've gone through and some of the tools that I've used on trying to complete this. I pretty much got everything connected back over here to the engine. Basically all the diagrams that I got for the Danmax harness set to connect the 3 yellow wires up to the corresponding wires on his harness. However, my stator wires came with a yellow, pink, and a green and a white wire. Only one yellow wire. And after trying on some Facebook website asking questions, of course everybody's a troll instead of trying to help, I had to figure it out myself. And basically this is what I found, that all of these, the wires except for the ground wire, which is usually green, are all power wires, positive. And so all of the wires on the Danmax harness had to connect up to positive wires on the stator, so I just went ahead and connected everything up to that. Used some of this wire loom to kind of clean it up a bit with some heat shrink tubing along all of the other wires. This one, you could still kind of see some of the wires exposed, so I'm going to disconnect it up here a little bit and slide it forward to hide all of these wires. The wires themselves run underneath here into this spot right here through a hole that I've drilled in this area, so which means you have to take out the bushing that's inside of here. The way I drilled the hole, you have to have an extension that comes all the way up to here, and it has to be a pretty big hole. So I got one of these step bits from Harbor Freight, which has this type of end. You can get some like at Ace Hardware or Lowe's or Home Depot, but they have a big round end which does not work because you need this extension, and that fits in there perfectly with the same end, and then you can drill the hole pretty wide. Actually, I got up to, what is that, I think I got up to 5/8. I should have taken it up to 3/4, but it was basically hitting up against this area right here on the inside. You could grab, these are relatively inexpensive from Harbor Freight. They're like $14, I believe. And you can probably grind off the end here, and that'll let it go in deeper. But it worked on my end, so there was no problem there. I did run all the wires through that hole. These are wires for the auto choke, which I'm not going to use, so I'll end up cutting them off and then running them in through this wire, and then running some heat shrink to seal them up. All these wires here are for the taillights. Now that's going to go into this hole right here, run up through the top, and then come out at the end right here, because the tail light that I'm using, as well as the turn signals, which are all integrated, are going to be sticking on to this back end right here, a hole right here what the wires go through, and then they'll put some more of this stuff onto the wires to hide all that. On the inside, this was the coil wire, which still I'm not too happy about. I might have to lengthen them and then kind of run them in through, like down the bottom, underneath, and then around. just to make it look a little neater. On the inside here, I've run the wire along the inside of the frame, and then I put a couple of stainless steel bolts with the nylock nuts with these clamps holding it all in place. I might have to take it apart again because I'm going to be running my throttle and rear brake cable through here as well, so I'll connect that through here. Now, let's see, all of these holes right here are going to be for the throttle and the brake cable, which will kind of come out of here, go inside here, run around the inside like this one, and then I'm getting a cover which will cover all of this, which you won't be able to see all these wires, which will clean it up even more. And then all of this stuff here, which I still need to get a piece of either aluminum or stainless steel, like, you know, really thin gauge metal to make a kind of a plate that goes along right here, so I can mount the rectifier as well as the CDI box, and also the relay, which is this right here, will be mounted somewhere right here with the strap or something I got to configure. And then this here, the starter relay, is going to be mounted somewhere along here alongside the battery, as well as what else? I think that's it, but all the other wires have to be connected up to the battery, which could be mounted here as well. I got to get an aftermarket horn to put on the front. That'll be connected as well. The last thing actually I need to do back here is run a ground, a couple of grounds actually. That's the main problem with these engines, is people don't get a good ground on them, and I'm going to somehow connect a ground hidden somewhere to where it comes up either to right here to the inside here with a bolt or something. And I might go ahead and run another ground strap on the inside of the frame, connecting it kind of right here, run it along the inside, and then connect it right there. And that'll ground the front frame to the rear subframe. And the engine, of course, will be grounded right here. And I think that's it. I did get my headset in today for oh, and the Gates PowerLink belt, so I can put the triple tree on today, or the stem on today. Just got to grease up the bearings, the belt, got to change that out. And another thing I'm going to do today is make the seat pan. I did grab some of this thin plywood, and I didn't know how many layers I was going to need, but it looks like I'm only going to need about 2 layers. If I went 3, it'd actually be pretty thick, and I'm still debating on whether to do that or not. But I got the form on the press, and what I'll do is I'll glue up all of the sheets together, put them in here with the top, which is right here, and then press it down. Hopefully it'll hold together. And okay, so fast forward to a couple of days later after doing this, and as you can see, the seat pan is a total fail. Basically all it did was just break on the curves around here and here. So after doing a little bit more homework, I learned that in order to do this, you have to have thin veneers to shape the wood and basically stack them together in 4 or 5 layers, and then put them on a form. Something like this, but actually has metal platforms, and the veneers themselves would have run I think like $80, and then to make the platform would have probably been another, I don't know, $50-$60. So I'm going to go ahead and scrap this idea, and I'm going to go with a different route. And I did finally install the TRS tree or stem and the R Pro headlight mount. And yesterday I got the battery cage, and I painted that a wrinkle black, and I got this bracket on to mount all of this stuff here, as well as the relay. Got the handlebars on and the stage 6 controls with the NCY grips and the quick throttle. So that's all on there. So today what I need to do is make a plate that goes right here out of aluminum, and do some more wiring. I went yesterday to the scrap yard and picked up this piece of aluminum that I'm going to use to make that plate, and actually it was a really good day because I also found a ruckus that was over there, not complete, but just for parts, and he let me have it for $40, so that worked out good. And went to the mail today and picked up this. I believe it is I think it's the loom for the wiring. But yeah, so that yeah, it is all it's all the loom that I need for the wiring to finish the gee, that's a lot of, I didn't order that much. Well, that's good. I guess I have more than enough. All right, so yeah, yesterday with the ruckus that I bought for $40, I ended up getting all the rest of the parts that I needed for the front end. I got this piece. I got when I ordered the head bearing set, it didn't come with the lock nut and the washer and this little kind of sponge cover that's there, damper I guess. So I took that off, put it on. Also ended up getting the guide that goes in here for the ignition, plus some other bolts and nuts that I needed from that particular ruckus there. And so I'll probably end up selling off the rest. It came with the Get 49cc engine, and I could probably keep that and use it for parts on my other one. But yeah, it's I got all these just little things that you need that you can only get at the factory. So those came in. I also got this thing, which is a threaded nut insert, which I'm going to use to put into the plate aluminum or sheet aluminum to mount the rectifier and the relay, and then I will have to use some like double stick tape for the CDI, this thing, because there's no holes to mount anywhere. This one has a couple of little places to mount, and then this one actually doesn't have anything to mount to, so I might have to make like a strap or something to put it on there, or put a piece of like a tie or something. I don't know. We'll see how that goes. Other than that, I got some things on order. I got the Yoshimura exhaust coming in. I got all the front end pieces that I need coming in, as like the shocks and brakes and axle, all that other stuff. So I'm also waiting on the brake light, which I am not sure if I'm going to be mounting on here at all again, or mounting it on the back of the seat pan. We'll see how that goes. And so the only things I really need to buy are the gas tank, the front cover of the battery box, the headlight, and the turn signals. Oh, and I have to reorder the well, here's the battery box that I painted. That one came out pretty nice. I have to reorder the brake cable. I ordered an 86-inch brake cable, and it's about 10 inches too short, so I got to reorder that. I also got some of this braided fuel line coming. Well, this is the fuel line for the fuel pump, but I also have the black braided fuel line to replace the line that I had coming out of here going into the breather can. So that's coming in as well. I also got all of the grounds done. The gy6 engines are notorious for not running or burning up wiring if you don't have good ground. So the motor to the frame ground, I did this right here. I did to the valve cover, and it runs along the back, connects up to right here on the frame. And then also a lot of times too, if you don't have a good ground from the rear subframe to the front frame, that kind of doesn't give you a good current, you know, going through the front all the way to the back. So I put another one, comes in from here and goes down to the bottom and then connects right there. And I ran a test light or a multimeter, voltmeter, from the front to the back of the engine, and it's all running good. And you know, pretty much everything is done on the back end, except for the seat and the brake light. Oh, I have to order the shock too, so that'll be ordered pretty soon. And once I get all that in, I can do the first startup. I did get some buttons for the push start button, and I got the ignition cover. I got I bought this because, you know, for the horn, but it's huge, so I guess I'll end up putting it on my truck. I need to order another one that's smaller. And here's one of them. The other one, yeah. So there's two buttons. One lights up red, and one, well, they both light up red. One is chrome and one is black. This is the kill switch, and this is the start button. So those will be mounted on the battery box right here in these two holes right there. And I just got to figure out how to wire this stuff up. So here's where we're at on the gy6 ruckus. I haven't posted or made some video in a while because I've been busy putting it together and ordering parts, but I did finally get the front end on, and made a custom bracket to hold the CDI, the rectifier, and the relay, as well as I shortened some of the wires and put some loom on there just to clean it all up. Just need a couple of things to connect it. I need the kill switch and the start button, which are going to be mounted here on the box. Brake lever switch, I still have to order the levers in, but everything else is connected. I got the fuel pump and the coil hooked up, as well as all the wiring. I put the throttle body, or the carburetor on actually, and had to make a custom riser to lift it up about 3/8 of an inch to clear this area. I still might need to raise it up a little more because I'm still waiting on the bar, the drag brace to come in. It's been almost 2 months now that I ordered it, and 3 months since I still haven't gotten the wheel bolts. Emailed him and said that if I don't get them in another week, just to go ahead and give me a refund, and I'll get me a Password JDM drag brace, and I'll just go to the hardware store and grab me some Allen head bolts and drop those in. I think it's taken way too long, but you know, that's the way it goes. Other than that, I got the seat pan done, made out of 3/16 aluminum, custom bend it to go with the lines, and had to make a riser underneath here to raise it up a little bit, and put some custom washers here to assemble it all. The brake light is attached. I was debating on whether to put it underneath here, make a bracket and put it underneath here, or just put it here. Decided to go with here. All the wiring runs through the inside of the frame and comes out through here, and then of course that all runs down under here, as you've seen on previous posts. Also got my Yoshimura exhaust in. That's really nice. That's all hooked up. This is all ready to go, just need to tighten it up. And got the frame bolts in, titanium frame bolts with the green anodized finish washers. And right now I decided to go with this headlight setup instead of the LED light bar like I did on my previous ruckus. But I did install LED bulbs on the inside because the 11-pole stators tend to blow out the regular light bulbs. So right now what I'm doing is I've stripped the main frame for the headlight bracket, and I've primered it. I can see that I still have some more finish work to do here, and on the inside here I got to strip it a little bit more. What I did was I cut off this bracket, which was hanging down here, flipped it upside down and put it up here and welded it to raise it, to lower the bracket itself with about 2 inches, I guess that is. This actually had to be cut off as well and then raised up and welded again. So that's what I'm doing now. I do, like I say, there's a couple of more parts that I need to order, which I'll do this weekend, like the rear brake cable. I had already ordered, which was too short. Order that. The cable for the throttle, which will all go hidden inside here and come out through here and here. I got the front brake line coming in. That was ordered in green. The brake cable and the other cable, the throttle cable, are going to be black, which I think will. And then I got the cover, the gas tank cover in. And what I did with this is I kind of ground the edges to go along with the line. I got the gas cap in. Got to order the gas tank still, and got the battery box painted finally right here, so that's ready to go. I still need to order the front part of the battery box, and one more thing that I needed to do. the brake levers, the gas tank. Got the ignition put on today, and headlights I'm working on now. So I should have this done hopefully in a couple of weeks. What I did with this, I'm not sure how comfortable this is going to be to ride on, since it's so hard. I went and got or sent off to get a custom bride cushion that is going to be attached here with Velcro, that just sits on top of here, and so that's being made right now. Other than that, like I say, I got about 2 more weeks to go. I was online last night and I was reading up on a guy that he was a heavier guy, about a little over 300 pounds, and he can get up to about 55, 60 miles an hour on something like this with the gears. I think he had 16/38 final drive gear on the transmission. So I'm gonna order the Tata 16/36s to put in here and see what that does. Hopefully it'll get me up above that range. I weigh about 240, so hopefully that'll work. Other than that, it's coming along pretty nice. Paint is all coming out good. Handlebars and the NCY throttle, quick draw throttle. Oh, also the stage 6 controls were put on and wired in. Yeah.